Now, the fridge can run on either AC power, so you can plug it right into a AC outlet, or you can run it directly from a 12-volt DC source, like a portable power bank, or if you're in an RV or a van or some sort of camper, then you could also just kind of create something and wire it directly to your 12-volt system. And I recommend doing that, which is what I do. So I think you're going to get more out of your battery bank, or just run more efficiently if you just power it from DC power only, which brings me to this guy here, which is a really, really nice accessory to get to go with this. It doesn't come with the fridge, it's a separate item, but it's a small portable battery pack. And it's a 17.4 amp hour capacity battery, and I believe that's about 250 watt hours or so. But it has a standard kind of 12 volt socket here that you can plug in the DC 12 volt cord to, and if it's charged up, it'll power this this fridge. And the reason that's exciting is because you can take this more places. It's more portable, and you can just power it from this guy here. And you don't need to have a big old heavy battery bank with you, or constantly have it plugged into your car and worry about, your car battery situation there. So this is a really nice add-on, and what's even better, it's magnetic, so it sticks to this metal case on the outside of this fridge. So really nice. What I found is that it works better here on the back, because it has this little spot here to rest on, and I keep it like that. What I've found is that putting it on the side here, it doesn't have as much of a grab. And it tends to drop. Say if you're driving and it may slip down, in some cases it might fall off. But having it here, I think it's pretty secure. It doesn't move at all. It's pretty solid. The question you probably have is, how long can this battery pack power the fridge? And that's really going to depend on two things. The first thing is, what do you have the temperature set to on the fridge? Is it 0 or freezing to be a freezer, or are you just using it as a refrigerator? And the second consideration is what's the ambient temperature outside? Because if it's hotter outside, then it's going to consume more energy to try to maintain a colder temperature. So I've done a few tests, primarily at the 0 degree mark. So it's like worst case, maintaining 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Now on eco mode, I found that I could keep it running for about 8 hours on eco mode. Now it's going to fluctuate a little bit more. So from 0, it might go up to like 4 or 5 and then back down. And it was able to kind of keep it going till about 8 hours, and then it finally just died. I wanted to also kind of find out what it would take from this battery if I had it on max mode. What's the difference? And set to max mode, with about 70 degrees ambient temperature, it was about 4 to 6 hours. So quite a big difference having it on max mode. It just ran the compressor more often. But on max mode, it keeps it nice and cold more consistently. Now, if you want to recharge the power bank, you can just plug it in, and it'll recharge in about 4 hours or so. Now, you could plug it into an AC source, and you can also plug it in to a 12-volt source, which, if you remember seeing how I had it set up here in the compartment on the RV, I had it plugged right in to a 12-volt source in the RV. I just tapped into a lighting circuit. It was able to keep this topped up while I was powering the fridge. So that's another thing that I wanted to test, and that was, can I charge it while it's providing power to the fridge? And the answer is yes. So the objective here is to keep it plugged in and use the battery bank to the power bank, whatever you want to call it, to power the fridge. Now it's going to go ahead and do that from the battery. And let's say, for example, this goes away. So now I have no input power to the battery. At that point, it's going to start depleting the battery. So it's going to keep the fridge or freezer running as long as you have this connected. And then as long as you have this connected, some other 12-volt source or AC source, it's going to keep the battery topped off. In either case, whether this input drops off or not, all of your stuff is still going to keep cold, at whatever setting you have it set to. So pretty flexible and great way to use this system. And that's been the way that I've been using it.